From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.94 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,257 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.7 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,426. Antiwar.com reports President Trump has been coming under increasing flack for his diplomatic overtures, and in addition to facing criticism for the suggestion that he'd be willing to meet with North Korea's Kim Jong-un, he seems to be facing almost as much criticism for his willingness to meet the president of a long-standing U.S. ally. President Trump invited Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte to the White House during a Saturday phone call, and that's led to a flurry of condemnations, with top Democrats in Congress demanding that he immediately rescind the invitation as contrary to U.S. interest. Duterte has been controversial in the U.S. both for publicly criticizing President Obama and for his use of summary executions in his nation's war on drugs. Critics insist that even meeting with him would be damaging to the U.S. human rights record. President Trump defended the invitation, saying the Philippines is very important strategically and militarily, and cited the Duterte's strong approval ratings in the country. The U.S. has been interested in trying to restore the Philippines' military dependence on them amid Duterte's talks of having deals with Russia and China. The suggestion that the president can't even meet with the president of the Philippines is just another example of a growing anti-diplomacy bias in which U.S. presidents are not only not to meet with the head of enemy nations or even rival nations, but even allied nations with which there are some existing disputes.
For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports what traditionally had been a day to air labor grievances turned into a catch-all political event for demonstrators worldwide on Monday. Thousands of people protested across the United States on May Day, with the most popular target being President Donald Trump, who was opposed, resisted, and mocked in effigy from coast to coast. In Los Angeles, thousands gathered in many neighborhoods and marched to City Hall to hear a speech by Mayor Eric Garcetti. In New York City on Monday, demonstrations against Trump ended with a rally at Foley Square. Monday's event served as an exclamation point by believers in the resist movement against Trump's government. Many other May Day events were staged in cities like Miami, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Philadelphia, Chicago, and San Francisco. Worldwide, May 1st is known as International Workers' Day to highlight workers' rights, but this year, with the new U.S. administration, many Americans saw it as another opportunity to again oppose who they view as an oppressive, divisive president. Monday's marches in the United States also addressed other issues, including immigrants' rights, LGBT awareness, and police misconduct. Fernanda Duran of Casa in Action told USA Today, "Our presence in this country is being questioned by Donald Trump. We are tired of being demonized and scapegoated. We've had enough." Casa in Action planned to draw 10,000 people in Washington, D.C. for immigrants' rights, with a march near the White House that ended with speeches from immigrants and elected officials. More than 200 immigrant-owned businesses were set to close in Washington, D.C. In Philadelphia, a group called Philly We Rise marched throughout downtown on Monday in support of alternatives to the Trump agenda. In the San Francisco Bay Area, dock workers closed the Oakland waterfront for demonstrations and marches outside federal immigration offices, in front of the jail, and along Bay Area rapid transit routes. Since Trump took office on January 20th, various marches have included several causes, ranging from the Women's March on Washington and other cities to climate change awareness over the weekend. The U.S. government in 1955 declared May 1st to be Loyalty Day. Trump wrote in his proclamation last week, "On Loyalty Day, we recognize and reaffirm our allegiance to the principles upon which our nation is built. We pledge our dedication to the United States of America and honor its unique heritage, reminding ourselves that we are one nation under God, made possible by those who have sacrificed to defend our liberty. This Loyalty Day, I call on all Americans to observe this day with appropriate ceremonies in our schools and other public places, including recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States." Trump directed government buildings to display the U.S. flag and for schools to observe the holiday with ceremonies. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.